Agitating the War by S.C. Turnbo. Mr. Sam Griffin, a veteran of the Civil War on the Union side, told me the following at his home near Onetta Post Office in Indian Territory one day in 1906. He said, John Cook, who lived in Polk County, Missouri, was a slaveholder and was in strong sympathy with the South when the war broke out. Now Cook, he was an agitator and made a number of speeches in favor of the Southern cause. Now some of his harangues were fiery and boastful. Now one day when the war sentiment was being stirred up among the people, and most everyone agitating it some way or the other, some in favor of the South and some were in favor of the North. Now I heard this man Cook make a speech to a large crowd, and he said in part, if the people of the North and the South get involved in a war together, I can whip any 5 men that take sides with the North. Now this language was not approved by men of reasonable sense, whether they sympathized with the North or the South. Now Mr. Cook had 3 sons whose names were Jeff, Roth, and Bob. The first name was a Southern sympathizer like his father, and held to the opinion that any state in the Union had a right to withdraw from the government and set up a republic of its own. Now, but 2 of his brothers were bitterly opposed to this, and they contended that the people of the United States ought not to divide themselves against each other, and that if the Southern people had been wronged, they should lay their trouble before the administration and ask a hearing, and if the rights of the people of the South had been trampled on and abused, it would be properly investigated and treated with respect, and the wrongs righted, and the Great War would be avoided. Now when the clash of the arms together began, Mr. Cook and his son Jeff went south, and his other 2 sons, Roth and Bob, went north. I do not know whether either of them belonged to the army or not. But anyway, father and sons all came back home soon after peace was declared.